Welcome back. Well, today's book is a fictional story based on the experience of many people living in the densely populated country of Bangladesh, which is located near the northeastern corner of India on the Bay of Bengal. Let's read. Iqbal and His Ingenious Idea. Written by Elizabeth Sunapee, illustrated by Rebecca Green. Elizabeth majored in American Studies at Brown University and then spent more than 20 years in marketing before starting her own consulting marketing business. She also writes books for teens and children. Some people call her Liz, especially friends who knew her when she was young. That's because she came home from her first day of school and told her mom she was the shortest girl in the class with the longest name. And her mom suggested Liz, the shortest nickname from Elizabeth. Rebecca is an illustrator and author. Her first published illustrations appeared in the Bryant School newspaper in kindergarten. And while she didn't know what an illustrator was, it felt like something she wanted to have happen again. After receiving her Bachelor of Fine Arts in Illustration, she's done work for magazines, newspapers, gallery paintings, murals, and even once designed a giant ice sculpture. She and her husband, Matt, are originally from Michigan, but have lived in Phoenix, Denver, Nashville, and Osaka, Japan. They now live in upstate New York, where they live with their sweet dog, Maury. Iqbal and his friends stepped out of their school and into the rain. Not a light mist, nor even a steady downpour, but gusts of wind that whip across your face and make you squint your eyes. Monsoon rain. "Hurry!" Iqbal called his sister. Sadia stood clutching her umbrella as she waited at their after-school meeting spot. At home, Iqbal and Sadia's mother stirred a pot of rice, a baby swaddled against her. "Sadia," said Amma over the baby's raspy cough, "please take Rupa to the veranda. The smoke is bothering her." Iqbal sat down beside his mother. "Amma, my teacher told us the theme for this year's district science fair. It's sustainability. We have a month to come up with a project that's good for the environment. There are cash prizes for the winner and the runner-up." From the veranda, Sadia overheard her brother and yelled out, "Iqbal, let me be your assistant, then you'll win." Amma chuckled as she shooed Iqbal out the door. It was the holy month of Ramadan, and he was meeting his father for evening prayers. As Iqbal hurried off, Amma muffled a cough. Day after day of breathing smoke was making both her and the baby sick. But during the monsoon rains, she had no choice but to cook indoors over an open fire. After the family's evening meal, Amma rested. Tomorrow, she would need to take Rupa and go out to gather firewood. Their supply was low. As Amma dozed, Iqbal's father whispered, "I saw a special stove at the bazaar today. The man selling it says it uses propane gas, so it doesn't create all the smoke that is making Amma and the baby sick." "Can't we get one, Abba?" Iqbal asked. "We don't have the money," his father said with a sigh. "I wish we did." That night, Iqbal fell asleep to the sound of rain drumming on the tin roof. But soon he was awakened by Amma's and Rupa's coughing. He tossed and turned, worrying about them. To distract himself, he tried thinking of a winning project for the science fair. In fact, he thought about the science fair a lot in the following days. He imagined inventions while walking to and from school with Sadia. He sketched all sorts of gadgets in between classes. He conceived of contraptions when helping Abba in the rice paddy. He dreamed about devices before and after his daily prayers. Finally, he came up with a winning idea. He would build a stove that didn't produce smoke. At school the next day, Iqbal explained the idea to his teacher. They went straight to the computer in the office and typed in "smokeless cooking." Up popped articles about solar stoves that cook with the heat of the sun. He learned that solar cookers don't pollute the air. They also save women from having to collect wood and cook over dangerous flames. Iqbal realized that Amma could use a solar cooker during Bangladesh's 5 sunny seasons. And with the prize money, Abba could buy the gas stove he saw at the bazaar to use indoors during the monsoon season. Iqbal brought home the best articles he had found about how to build a solar cooker and started reading. "Let me help," said Sadia, grabbing a couple. "Remember, I am your assistant." Within seconds, Sadia exclaimed, Look at this! Solar cookers made from cardboard boxes covered in foil." Iqbal didn't look up. She tried getting her brother's attention again. "Iqbal, these stoves use the sun's heat." And again, "Iqbal, are you listening to me?" He wasn't. Iqbal was too excited by his own discovery. "Here's our winner, Sadia. A solar cooker made from an umbrella." Every family they knew had an old umbrella or two that had been broken by the gusty monsoon winds. To make their umbrella cooker, Sadia and Iqbal removed the handle from the biggest broken umbrella they could find. Abba gave them money to buy foil to cover the top of the umbrella, and since dark colors hold heat best, they borrowed one of Amma's old soot-blackened pans to cook in. Now, all they needed was a few sunny hours to test their invention. But it rained the next day, and the day after, and the day after that. They wondered if the rain would ever stop. Finally, it did. The first day that the clouds parted and the sun brightened the sky, Sadia and Iqbal bought eggs at the bazaar and raced home. They carefully positioned the foil-covered umbrella to catch the sun's rays, placed the pan inside, and waited. And waited. Iqbal sprinkled a drop of water into the pan. "Not ready yet," he said. He counted slowly to 50. Ak, Dewey, then, and tried again. The bead of water skittered across the bottom. "It's hot!" he exclaimed. Sadia cracked an egg on the edge of the pan, and it slithered into the middle. They watched and waited some more. "Look!" Iqbal yelled. "Amma, come quick! We are frying an egg for you." A couple of weeks later, it was the event Iqbal and his classmates had been waiting for, the announcement of the science fair winners. The students lined up behind their projects. One of them had won first prize for the entire district. But who? Was it Rashad and his experiment to reduce soil erosion? What about Tariq with his wind turbine? Maybe Rafi had one for his compost container. Or Iqbal for his solar cooker? The principal entered the room and began his speech. Thank you, students, for all your hard work. Iqbal's heart pounded. The principal continued. One student has come up with a particularly ingenious idea. He saved a broken umbrella from the garbage dump and turned it into a fried egg. The class giggled. He went on. Smoke from cooking fires is a big problem in our country. It pollutes the air and causes health problems, especially for women and small children. The principal placed the ribbon on Iqbal's solar cooker and shook the boy's hand. He had won first prize. After weeks of rain, bright days finally outnumbered gray ones. Monsoon season had come to an end, and so had Ramadan. Using the winning umbrella cooker and the new gas stove purchased with Iqbal's prize money, Amma and Sadia had been busy cooking for Eid al-Fitr, the feast to celebrate the end of the holy month. Abba handed his son the first serving of the family's favorite sweet dish, shemai. Iqbal passed it to Sadia. After all, she really had been an excellent assistant. The end. Now, I knew about making a solar science stove using a pizza box, but I'd never heard of using an umbrella. That was so clever, wasn't it? And like the family in this story, most Bangladeshi people do cook their food over open fires, and this contributes to the air pollution that affects the health of millions of them. In fact, I was shocked to learn that around the world, 3 billion people cook over open fires or on stoves that use air-polluting fuels like wood or coal. Many of these people live in sub-Saharan Africa or South Asia. And the good news is that there are stoves that don't cause pollution or use efficient fuels. But solar cookers really only work well in areas where the sun shines most days. And some families in these countries do use other clean cooking solutions, including things like the gas stove that Iqbal's father saw at the bazaar, in addition to solar cooking, which is a slow cooking method. But it's better than coughing, isn't it? Another example of how we are made in the image and likeness of God. We are all creative. So come back next week and let's have another story. Bye-bye.